A wed... Ah, forge. The one place metal and bread are welcome in equal measure.
Perhaps I can... Ah! What can I cook up today?
In the days of old, the sorcerers of Riverlong cured the sick and healed the wounded through a great power called Source. But a terrible darkness invaded the land, and Source was forever tainted. The sorcerers who once healed now only destroy, and madness has overtaken them. A few brave Source hunters are all that stand between Riverlon and the dark power that threatens to destroy it. Wherever Source appears, hunters follow.
Rise and shine, Master Source Hunters. The captain wants you up on deck. Hear them gulls? Means we're close to shore. I don't ever you go in there, Master Source Hunters. City's full of undead, hungry enough for blood. But you're supposed to investigate that murder, ain't you? They say it's Source that did the Counselor in. Source in a city like Sicil, nowhere safe anymore. Here they are, Captain Sir.
God's blessings on you, hunters. You'll be happy to hear we've reached Sicil. But there's trouble offshore, so we'll have to sail in carefully. Here, have a look. Those are orc ships, and they're blocking our passage. We'll get you as close to the city as we can, and drop you off on the beach. Be wary now. Orcs are on the attack. Undead have closed every route out, and there's a sorcerer on the loose. If we're to get justice for the Counselor, you'll have to keep your wits about you. May the luck of the gods be with you both, Source Hunters.
If I didn't know there were orc ships raiding to the west, I'd mistake this for a placid beach.
At least the orcs make a bit of noise when they attack. It's dark-dealing sorcerers that'll strike with neither warning nor mercy.
Is that a corpse? What's it doing here alone?
What? Did you expect it to have an entourage? Can you believe this? The man jumped off a cliff at the behest of some statues of all things. Agreed. Call me skeptical, but a little proof goes a long way for the rational mind.
Source hunters! How did they find us?
Take the stone to the temple. These whelps will be easy to crush.
As you say, Madam Conduit.
Arise, fair dead! Seize upon our enemies!
Heaven have mercy on your soul! Their leader said something about escaping with a stone.
Stolen from this dungeon, I imagine. Can we get inside?
Those thieves were more than petty criminals. Their leader gave life to the dead. What stone could they have been so keen on taking? Indeed. For all we know, these dark-dealing thieves may be involved with Counselor Jake's murder.
This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. Careful! There's a mine in the middle of our path.
Someone must have an interest in protecting whatever's kept here.
This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. I've always heard there's typically more to a king's tomb than meets the eye.
It could be a myth, or it could be our lucky day.
This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken.
I spotted something.
Shut tight!
Made short work of that door, but I don't imagine our weapons would survive such use for long.
enemies have laid a trap. This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken.
What's this? I found something.
I've spotted something.
Well, what's this I've spotted?
I've spotted something interesting. Voices downstairs.
The last thing we need is to surprise another angry summoner.
This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken.
Those cultists have been poking about for days.
I sense enemies nearby.
eternal silence awaits you!
This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken.
A living rat dares disturb the slumber of the dead? A thieving fool insults the sanctity of the grave. The bloodstone defiler, where is it? In life, I toiled to care for these holy grounds. In death, I protect them from profaners and poachers. The legacy of... I suppose you only crept among these sacred tombs for leisure. I suppose you had no lust. Strange indeed. Robed indeed. Your tricks will not run if you like to, Phylum.
Sneak past?
Death never dies, fool. Death in 1,000 forms rules all.
Here lies Master Ragequin's first apprentice, killed by a falling corpse. Here lies Master Ragequin's second apprentice, killed by dying.
This seems to be broken.
Look! A wanderer comes my way, walking the sands upon which they call me Ishmashel, son of the sea, an outcast upon these wretched shores. An exiled shell. Of course I can talk, don't be silly. There's more tongue to me than heart. Indeed, the surprise should be mine, for I still remember the days when your kind swung from branches, and time is an indulgent mistress to one who spends happy hours as she passes. But when your existence is one of misery, she becomes oh, I remember ancient times, for I have lain here since antiquity. All this I have seen. Alive! Oh no, my fate is a cruel one, I assure you. How many snot-noses have held me up against their dirty little ears, only to claim they can hear the ocean? Of course they can hear her, the brats! We are on the very edge of the great aquatic mother, whose embrace I... Yes, I, King of Pearls, ache to repose anew on his coral throne. What do you say, kind knight? Will you...
pass up the opportunity of simply taking him and selling his valuable pearl? I think not. But he called himself the King of Pearls. Worth, I'm sure, a king's ransom.
No, we'll do as I say.
Liberator, kind benefactor. The sea, I have returned, where every wave feels like a mermaid's kiss. May the bounty of the deep be yours, along with my eternal gratitude.
They sell for ale.
Single malt? Stumpers. You've been had by one of them smooth-talking salesmen again. Come, give here, before I sober up.
Hold it right there, orc scum! No one slips...
Calm down, Junius. Doesn't look like one of them orcs to...
Just hold your tongue with you, bibbiers. Can't be too careful. We are sworn to protect Scythiel. We're legionnaires, of course. On the lookout for orcs, for they've been attacking from the sea. God...
Liberators of liquor too, aren't we, old chum?
Shh! Just pipe down, will you, bibbiers? Aye, a noble word for watchdog, that. For that is what we do. Watch over the...
Best way to calm a wily dog is to neuter it. Ha! Spay for pay.
Just put the sock in it, with...
Ever kept the watch? Stood on the lookout for hours on end, bored stiff. Boredom's a demon buddy, and booze is the demon hunter. There. I do declare it's time for this hunter to take another shot. Huzzah! What do you want to know? So, it's Jake you're looking for. Ship sailed on that one.
Can't tell you much more, except that I heard he was found face down in a puddle.
They say 'twas his wife that did it, and I'd bet a bottle of brandy they're right.
As if that proves anything. Just keep bunch of barbaric bastards, a lot of them. They'll kill your spouse and eat your children.
Well, we did bring a lead.
Just bite your lip with you, babyers.
Seal, yes. Where fishermen come to live and street dogs come to die.
Just cut the cackle with you, babyers. Now then, stranger. If not that I could blame them, this place is cursed, I tell you. First the dead rise from their graves, and then entire tribes of orcs sound...
So, you're sorcerers, are you? And how are we supposed to verify that's true? We can't read, my friend. So for all we know, those papers say you're a polymorph parrot on the lookout for a 2-bedroom birdcage. They don't prove a thing.
You know what? We'll take you two to the wizard. I know it.
Agreed. A wizard is bound to know more.
Captain, come along. We're not far from the... Come, let's have another drink while we still can.
What the hell's happening down there? Orcs! Bloody orcs!
Come, let's go back to the bridge. Let the source hunters handle their big brutes.
Kill the unbelievers!
They call me the Thorn of Rivellon.
Face the unending darkness.
It's the end! For you!
Those orcs had a human commander.
We're Abibius and Junius. They hear the
How
fight.
very disquieting.
Filthy beasts, I'll kill the last one of you. Filthy beasts! I'll kill the last one of you! Oi! The Source Hunter! Nice to see these winds are blowing more than bloody orcs our way. Welcome to... I'm a proud legionnaire and always will be. But I thought we'd be doing more slashing and less dying when we landed in Sicil. Bloody orcs are at it again. Beats me what on earth they want in Sicil. This is their second attack within it. That rat-faced shaman of theirs even went to the trouble of launching a fireball at a ship in the harbor. They may need help. I'd go myself, but we legionnaires are under strict orders never to abandon our posts. Never know. Beats me what traitorous madness came over that dog. A man among orcs. It'd be like one of your... Whatever the cur's incentive to raise swords alongside that murderous lot, let's all hope it was a private grudge. Can you imagine if we had to add a slew of wild-eyed, orc-loving bedlamites to our list of enemies in Sicil?
I've spotted something interesting.
One day, comrade, vengeance will be ours.
What's all this ruckus? Sounded worse than a dozen tomcats fighting over the world's last mackerel. Ah, but I see we've suffered another orc landing. And judging by the relative ease with which it was dispatched, you're as welcome as a glass of cooled milk on a hot day, my friend. I'm Ahu, at your service. It was so you were and so you weren't. Behold! There we are. Meet my other half, Hunter. Ha ha! No need to look so flabbergasted. So, now that the cat is out of the bag, let us turn... It's hard to put my finger on it, but I can feel in my very whiskers that sorcery was at play. Visit the scene of the crime, and I'd... Captain Aureus, though, the local commander of the Legion, insists I'm seeing ghosts. Jake was murdered in a downstairs room of the King Crab Inn, up in Sicil proper. The Legion keeps it under lock and key, though, so you'll need Aureus's permission should you want to have... So there are. Or rather, there is. Popular opinion has it she seems a likely candidate, to be sure, but that would make her a sorceress. Esmeralda knows how to charm, yes, but I just don't see her magic Still, don't simply take my word for it, Hunter. It may be well worth your while to cross-examine her yourself. The Legion has her under guard in her shop near the town square. That's where you'll find poor Jake's widow. A human, you say? Truly? But that would be like a kitten and yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts. A shadowy set of worshippers that associate even with orcs. I don't quite know what to make of this news, but thank you for informing me. It'd be the undead. They've been clawing their way out of... The Legion did a good job keeping them at bay, but someone is responsible for the outbreak. Necromancers are at work, but who are they and where do they hide? Alas, that searching for them is like searching for a single louse in a... Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. The Orc siege is yet another hairball stuck in this city's... We've cordoned off the western beach where most Orc activity has been reported. For the 9 lives, there's nothing of interest along the waterfront, except for a set of caves with an unfavorable reputation. Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Such magic is a gift, Hunter. to tread upon the realm of instinct. Even articulate speech, perhaps humanity, to be out in the night, to stalk on silent paws and hunt with only the moon. But of course it's handy to speak in more than meows. And I couldn't brew potions or make machines without opposable thumbs. I'm glad we've met, Source Hunter. And I'm certain we have a lot more to talk about. Once you're there, just take the stairs. But do pay a visit to Aureus first. He may bark like a beagle with its tail stuck in the door, but you won't get very... And with that, I bid you adieu, Hunter. Adieu and good luck. May your enemies prove...
Undead, orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go see that Aureus chap Arthur mentioned? With ale.
Our home, our livelihood, all sunk in a matter of minutes, while that was a right stunning show. Well, we were merchants what seems like a moment ago. These bleeding orcs. I can't, with our ship gone, nothing for it but to get a job.
You there! Where can a few honest sailors find a living wage around here?
You there! Where can a few honest sailors find a living wage around here? Ask the Source Hunter. Go on.
Carriage for the joyride.
Ha! No, it ain't. He dropped
Shores? Here? Inside Seal? Bah! A ship's got a soul too, you know. You did a mighty fine thing saving that barge. Who knows if it's even over for sure? Forget the time he got caught.
Sauce? Here, inside. That was some fast acting there. Many thanks. Who knows if it's even over for sure?
Oh, and don't forget the time...
Hail the rain spirit. I thought the old gal's fate was sealed when the arch shaman said his...
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really...
Ahoy, sailor! Name's Conrad. Cargo trader, sea captain, an expert in all things. Those orcs must be out of their barbarous minds launching an attack on a city where a great... I'll tell you, the only time I'd consider waging...
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Youthful Gore anymore?
Speaking of Youthful Gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orchid charm looks him.
All hail the rain spirit. That was a fine display of magicianship, it was. I thought the old girl's fate was...
Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up.
Moo-wee!
All careful now. Never know.
You there! A moment of your indulgence, if you please. You are the source hunter, are you not? No, scratch that. It is so much more than a delight. It is an Mendius at your service. What is my profession? Well, I'll tell you what it used to be, and that is a man of medicine. But what does a man of medicine do but mend? Oh, it's not merely an opportunity. It is a once-in-a-lifetime chance.
Some could not, because they are professionals, not adventuring daydreamers.
Clearly, two strong personalities stand before me. Two who voiced their opinions with vigor when... too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense. Am I right? The way...
Really? I wouldn't mind earning an...
Well, don't quarrel about it on my account. Still, if a matter... Even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without variety? Without spice? To be a source hunter must get frightfully...
Heavenly herring! Delicious dogfish! Yours for a...
Better to be served than to serve. I could...
Well spoken. Well said indeed. Life's too short to spend it doing someone... And that is exactly why I am here. Why fate has put me right by the door to the King Crab. So that I could meet you and tell you... Ah, the fabulous five. How I enjoy simply saying the words that describe the most illustrious and celebrated adventurers' guild in Riverlong. You'd like nothing more than to enlist, wouldn't you? Of course you would. And you can. Of course, if you still... What a gem of a question. Straight as... Now then, to join the Fabulous Five is to join a fellowship, to join a fraternity, a sorority. Of course, should you spread the word, should you propagate the by now, the genial glow of the fellowship must have warmed your heart. It has, hasn't it? But did I say fellowship? I mean family. For like a family, we support one another, cheer one another, work hard, fulfill contracts, enlist new knights, and swiftly shall you rise through the ranks. You will better yourself. You will better Riverlong. You will make the stars shine all the brighter, and you'll get fabulously wealthy in the process. What's not to like? They call the undead a problem, my friend, but those who know the ways of the Fabulous Five see no...
Come now. Met your match once or twice.
Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate. I am the Duke of Ferrell. Though I suppose my name is in the mouths of enough ruthless gossipers that you've heard of. It's very tragic news. I won't posture and say that the council...
Back, demon! Back, or I'll... Well, what's this? Oh, Medora, you lummox. 1,000... I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy West, you wouldn't. I trained up in Academy North, after all. Medora's the name. Retired, or so the order keeps trying to tell me, but never. Heavens hornets! That's quite a story, comrade. See, I'm here on, well, let's call it a loan from a town to the north of here. Hunter's Edge by name. There's been an attack there, comrade. Orcs. What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say, but it's my responsibility to send them packing. Preferably with their horns in this. I came south seeking the Legion's help, only to find it tied here in Sicil. They don't have a spare soldier to send northward, and even in my finest form, by the skin of my teeth, comrade. The savages were rounding up villagers when one of them activated a tripwire on our village wizard's property. I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee toward the forest. He pursued me for miles. Well, comrade, I hadn't thought of it till you tapped my shoulder just now. I need a contingent I can trust. I've been scouting Sicil for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help solve the murder of the counselor. With our minds and swords in tandem, we'll make short work. Well, you know the old expression. 2's a tea party, 3's an invasion. I know this...
Another source hunter on the team will make us all the more formidable against this...
That's the spirit. Listen closely now. Do you hear?
The closest I've got to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Oh, careful now. Your head's grown more swollen than saffrons, I dare say. What have we here? A source hunter, is it? Well, my day, just tall as an elf, strong as an orc. But your face, and my word, what passion burns from your eyes. Please forgive me. I am Anna, jewel in the crown that is the fabulous 5. I've cut 1,000 throats and baked 1,000 bread rolls, stolen the crown when the day comes that I die. The god I contain multitudes, you see, and I am utterly replete. But then, Source Hunter, you wandered into that I have. For nearly a lifetime, it seems. Well, I'm sure you must know what I mean. Like, I believe I have found that component, that body, that spirit within you, Source Hunter. Yes, you must join the Fabulous 5 right away, as soon as time permits. Together as a team. Yes. I am part of that band of valiant heroes, and ever there must I remain. You must speak with Mendius. He stands right outside this very tavern, and he alone can bring you into...
Sorry, I've run out of signed handkerchiefs. An Alistair keyring, maybe. In any case, mate, what do you mean, not familiar? You expect me to believe you've never heard of Alistair the Almighty? Why, I'm only the most famous wizard this side of the distance. Although, it'd be worth checking the other side too, just in case. And don't forget, I'm the most eminent member of the Fabulous 5 to boot. Surely you already know we've been voted. Your interest is piqued, I see. I'd suggest you have a word of warning, though. We only accept the best and the bright. Those nasty beasts are hardly worth my time. Though I suppose...
A source hunter? I'd like to report some dark magic. Been at the King Crab nearly 10 years now, personally. Seen every character you can imagine, from bums to... I think I'm one of the last folks to hear him alive. That awful scream has been ringing in my ears ever since. Though that's the question, isn't it? What exactly did happen? We all thought it was Esmeralda who checked into that room, and I was washing up and nudging the last of the lushes out of the door when a cloaked woman rushed in right past me. I never got a good look at her. Damn my eyes! But lucky for the perpetrators, I was rinsing bottles in the back when the terrible deed took place and saw nothing more. I'm not proud to say I ducked under the counter and
Pointless chatter with strangers does so thrill me. How did you know? How curious of you to show interest in a lonesome stranger at the bar. Let me answer by saying, can I tell you? I suppose I can, and I could. But why would I turn my attention away from this?
Arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you.
Greetings, traveller. And may the Immaculate Conduits... What's in a name, dear friend? For we all begin equal in the Conduit's eyes, and only through... You mean you haven't heard? Oh, what... Steel yourself, friend, for your mortal spirit could be forever transformed from this by following her instructions and becoming initiated into the one way we can each of us. She came from on high to we mortals and showed us the path to the god. She showed us that injury and malady need not mark the end of life. For this hallowed information, you must seek an immaculate chapel. Go north. There, among her followers and friends, dwells. Go on the path to the righteous, my friend.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation, but I can't
Greetings, greetings. Oh, you are most welcome in my chamber. Customers rare that I am. I have spent more of my life on the road travelling alongside great You wouldn't believe some of the things I have seen. Oh yes, a city. Oh, but let us not discuss. Let us browse and barter.
I smell the fierce stench of frightened Source Goblin.
Actually, I think that's only roast pig.
Ah, yes, of course. This time.
Well, hello there!
Baking like a cake.
You don't think it's a fact to do?
Source Hunter. A sight for... I know you're probably knee-deep in that awful murder investigation. We've been conducting a series of expeditions into undead territory. And Lieutenant Selenia at your service. I'm Captain Aureus' second-in-command. Now, I certainly don't mind a bit of healthy competition, and even rivalry between our orders. And that is exactly what your presence in Sicil is, Source Hunter. A gift and a blessing. Only heroes such as yourself can make a true difference in this troubled part of the world. Such is my honest conviction. The undead. I pitied them at first. Many among them were once kind and innocent civilians of Sicil after all. No longer do I... The bravest among my men and women tell me they are weaker in the west and stronger in the east. So I suggest you head westward if you want to flex your muscles and test the waters before blindly diving to your death. I shall be very glad to share what information I can give you. It's very sweet of you that you are trying to get these men a job. Sure, they can tie a knot and blow a whistle like the best of them, but even with a sword in their hands, they wouldn't... If ever we want to be victorious in Sicil, we have to track down the root of the undead uprising. 3 landmarks were chosen for further investigation. The lighthouse, the burial mound. There's a lighthouse to the west, up on the bluffs, overlooking the sea. The locals say it's haunted, and 6 legionnaires have gone to find out whether or not those are mere tall There are ancient burial grounds to be found north of the city. As a local archaeologist offered to tag along with the men. Here's hoping. There's a church to the northeast of here, built atop the very place where once stood a temple dedicated to the source. The Sicil... All superstitious mumbo-jumbo, if you ask me. But when the dead rose, that is when they were... So I did. The Pact of Volunteers. Many legionnaires will do whatever it takes to go home. The chances of survival during these sorties are only about 1 in 10, you see. So my soldiers are...
Greetings! These stores are for our Legion troops.
Don't let that rooster escape! He's already on the menu for tonight!
Pardon him? What a silly notion! Such a lovely day calls for a nicely cooked chicken. If the chef makes something especially tasty, maybe he'll give us a nibble for helping him out.
No, we'll do as...
Why did you let my chicken escape?
I'll be disfigured for life.
Come on with the dramatics. It's not as bad as all that.
You let my chicken escape? Looks like it's your lucky day, Jack.
Greetings. These stores are for our Legion troops. Rivellon's miners work up my
The beast speaks, so you've half a brain behind
Sorry,
that feral
son.
maul, have you? Hey, who's that then? Come on.
Easy, Tull. That's the source hunter you're talking to.
She may have the look of a woman if you squint hard enough, but she's no... We got reports of a strange-looking outsider skulking through the town with her bow drawn. I found her crouched. I tapped her on the shoulder to see what was what, and the beast stopped...
Bit Tullia right in the face, she did. It wasn't pretty, and now it...
Enjoy it while you can, Ver. There's not another legionnaire in the cohort that'll have you if I go rabid.
Well, that's to be decided. She doesn't seem to be sick, despite Tully's mum.
After all, a fearless hunter might...
Well, that's a relief, ain't it? We found a good...
Heed me, source hunter. She's not good for anything more than cannon fodder.
Source Hunter. I have heard tales both grand and terrible about the world of humans. In Home Forest, every creature acts according to the nature of its kind. Birds frighten easily, badgers fear little. But amongst men, there are no guarantees. If you say it is so, then wary I will be. As the god wolf Amira commanded...
To the barracks! Nuts! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
What have we here, then? A so-called source hunter, eh? Well, look, do what you must. I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know, leader of the Legion in Sicil. By which I mean I have the enviable task of commanding a battalion of walking dead. For I fear it may well be but a matter... Gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar. Ridiculous! I told that wizard brat of an Ahu. Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop. Understand? I am in command of this town. Not Mayor Cecil, not Ahu, and definitely not some hotshot. The scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell the guard you have my... Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him. Now, What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone? Hardly. But I won't stand for such nonsense. If you bring evidence if you must. Bravo! Figured that one out, did you? I haven't been stuck here for 2 years because we're being besieged by fluffy kittens, you know. Those brain-feasting freaks out there keep on coming. And it takes all the sword arms and all of Ahu's half-baked contraptions to keep them at bay. Keeping them at bay, that is all we do. How am I enjoying it? Are you spoiling for a fight, Hunter? Are you? Sicil stinks of fish, reeks of orcs, and on a... We are the pride of Rivellon, to be found and to be seen everywhere. We don't hide in the dark, and I'd say they're looking for weak spots in our defences. They can't make an attack over land for fear of Ahu's magical machines, so they're trying their luck. Yes, and he also spends most of his time in the guise of a cat, licking God's knows which body...
Recruits! That was sloppy under Sicilian stew. Again!
Greetings! These stalls are for our Legion troops. Rivellon's finest work up mighty fine appetite, serving the seven.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice of stir and churn. Good day.
Move along.
Legion's greetings. I have been informed about your heroics on the beach. Were that I had been there to partake in the battle. But my I am Septimus, seventh son in a household of 9, legionnaires all. Me and 2 brothers of mine were assigned to Sicile from day 1. Alas, both of them have lost. So fair a lady I have seldom seen in all of Rivellon, my friend. And I have traveled more extensive. Steadfast will I guard her. Never will I waver unless absolute proof of her culpability. Jake's murder is, in a word, a tragedy. He was well loved in all of Sicile. The Council of 7 couldn't have wished for a... And what questions are... I hold by the belief that this place is cursed. First, the undead, who are getting more vicious by the day, mind. Then the orcs, who don't seem... I can tell you one thing about the undead, and that is to stay the hell away from them. I've seen too many men and women put on a brave face.
So that item interests you, yes? I can let you have it for a very reasonable price. Then please try to leave things where they are if you do not intend to buy anything. Lords above, grant me patience. You're a source hunter, aren't you? Here I am Esmeralda, wife of Jake, and now, alas, his widow. Poor man. We were both, like I told just about every legionnaire in town. I don't know anything about poor Jake's murder. I want his killer found and tried, but everyone suspects me of this evil deed. And you're no different, are you? So what happened? Some of them tittle-tattling crab chasers down the pub call me a murderous gold digger and you...
Well, what do you want to know?
We're surrounded. Undead haunting every exit. Orcs gnashing at every entrance. We're sealed in like mummies. They came out of nowhere. Must have been, 2 years ago now? The very heart of winter. I smelt them before I saw them in the night. Torchlight reflected in their eyes like it does...
Quite adamant about her innocence.
We'll need to look for evidence if we want to prove she actually did the evil deed.
Livestock's got twice the sense and thrice the soul of the source hunters, eh? All right, prop. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like mid-deer. Now that the herd's gone, old Birch is just scratching by like a hen till the next batch of beasties comes through. I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days. Those miners must be preparing for a mighty great feast. Wish I could have a nibble on my dear darlings, all ground and spiced.
Let us see if you can chip.
Yes. Oh, Ogget's been missing for more than a fortnight. I love that sheep, you know. Sorry, can't help you there. Haven't got enough livestock.
To entussle you.
I wonder how my dear sweet Doreen is doing. Sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Lonesome, spiritless, perhaps wrestling in...
What are ye staring at? Captain Jack's the name. Though the title may be a little generous at the moment. Those scallywags heard there be silver in the Lacula mines, and they abandoned ship like the some poor chaps lost their ship and want some work. Just send it.
Knife for farm potatoes.
Pay the big change on your rope for the wheel of the footstep.
Well, what sort of arrows do you want?
Pay the big change on your rope for the wheel.
Don't scuttle away before you've tried some of the ocean's fun.
What'll you have? Oh.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep
Say, no one's around. You wouldn't raise a fuss.
Burrow, indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that
Come now! I'll be good for it! Oh, my story's tired by now. I was happy enough, prosperous enough. I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times. But so what do you think? Should I...
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap of gold.
Yes, you know what they say about giving a man a fish.
I suppose you've got a point. A hungry man, you know.
Let's see. Halibut.
Don't scuttle away before you... I listened in while you were talking to that would-be thief. Thank you for preserving my...
Let us see if you can choose from my
I've spotted something interesting.
The earth here seems to have been freshly fertilized and aerated.
You can't insult what's not alive to be offended. I say we dig. Come now. I bet a thrilling mystery awaits us inside.
No, we'll do as
you step away from...
Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up.
Speaking of you,
Have you found us a job yet? We'll take anything. Really?
Have you found us a job yet? Well, so there's a captain offering booze and graft for a bit.
No, it ain't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
don't forget the time you
Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
Get it while it's fresh. This batch is only hours from the sea.
Are you the captain who's looking for some fresh blood for your crew?
Concerns myself with such things.
You'll be concerned enough when you realise that reward money won't be lining your pockets.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean not exactly the friendliest bloke, the captain, is he? Well, you're a...
Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone, somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
Terrible, terrible, terrible! By the quill that lasts a billion words, what's this? Oh yes, proper introductions. Zigzags the historian at your service. It is my job to record all that was, and as for how I got here, well, for a historian, how you got here, though, that's a rather on such a tiny and rapidly shrinking vestige of space and time. I wouldn't have expected to find a soul but my own shadow. mentioned already that this time ought naturally to have no end at all. Indeed, I can think of no worse nightmare for a chronicle. Show, don't tell, I always say. So, go.
It may be quite mad.
Then we had better appease him and have a look through the looking lens.
Come now, don't... You saw! Terrifying, isn't... What's this? The portal! It's... You first, but don't dilly-dally. You, dear stranger, you must be the key. Those torches, a light! This portal active once more! Goodness me, how right you are! There's so much to take in, I'd nearly forgotten. And what you saw, it is the void itself. The dragon that I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this. It's not that I believe, it's that I have seen. Long have I been. No longer than a few mere moments after you arrive. Though I cannot say for certain if it is what I believe. In fact, every last question that ever plagues your noggin might well be answered. For I believe what lies. But why spoil the mystery? As after you. You first, but don't dilly-dally.
Seems the imp has spotted exactly who and what he'd hoped to find here.
Could it be, milady? The weaver of time?
Indeed, Sir Imp. As surely as you are he who chronicles all...
Astounding! Unbelievable!
You have brought guests,
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the...
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive? If any other being in Rivellon asked me about the details, but you are different. Of you I see nothing. I know nothing. So please, do tell me. A stone? So... It was a stone, but not like this, no. What happened? Never had I experienced something so... contrary to my nature, but yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact.
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all?
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. I see them before source hunters. It would seem that yourselves and Starstone are inextricably linked. Starstone is not what it seems, source hunter. Its true nature must be part of a group. Do you see what violence my work has suffered?
Mysteries of all time. Gaps in...
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting me new...
I see. What the void would...
Yes. Though I cannot explain why this Starstone. If we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all. Indeed you must. Though I may not yet understand why. It seems that you and you are...
Why, of course! That's what they were doing. I have recorded their doings, you see.
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon. The entire tapestry...
That shall never be, milady. As sure as Zix comes before Zax, we will put a stop to it. Please, our most mysterious guest. Come, come! I've got something for you if you're up to the challenge. What'll it be, Source Hunter? Do tell!
Not but a moment ago we were hunting Source in Rivellon, and now we're being told that we alone can prevent the end of time by way of some magical stones. What do you make of it? No matter how improbable, anything is possible.
I have the last test. The last test. The last test. If you believe yourself worthy of rifling through my ample treasures, I do dare you.
I've got something for you if you're up to the challenge.
Careful, comrade. I think I sense a sorcerer in yonder shadows.
No, with you, sir. But you'll need a way to travel between Rivellon and this homestead, won't you? Who wouldn't want? Luckily, the power of portals is known to you, so I'll let you in on the little... Off you go, then. You've Starstone to find, and I've a tapestry to examine. Surely there must...
Cross my heart, hope to fade in the void. I honestly don't know.
Like the imp said to the ballista operator, shoot! Wouldn't it just? Would that I had a starstone. Just like yourselves, starstones are cute. From what I can gather, though, they were once cherished by devious sorcerers whose reign ended long ago. The stones are ruins, caves, the lairs of long-forgotten evils. Though neither do I, but the mere fact that activated Starstone has set the Weaver of Time, this in turn more than implies that you are the Void's natural enemy, for it is you who is setting new events in motion. We may not understand the how yet, but our aim is clear. We shall save creation from the... Oh, I don't know if I'm more than those things per se, but having been given a divine mission does have its perks. Old age can't touch me, but of course I have a price to pay for something that is priceless. It is my duty to record all of... So, gather those star stones so that we may know the history that was lost. Lonesome, observing the frontier of creation? Surfing the vibrant tide of the eons? Or, well, yes, actually. I don't mean to complain. Perhaps you can imagine the profound pleasure it is to have made the Weaver's acquaintance after all these years. Before you go, Source Hunter, a final word. Once you return to... I hope he'll be able to help you as much as he... A question has me stumped, milady. Why are there two of us? Two beings that record all of history parallel to one another?
That is a good question, Zigzags. One without a conclusive answer, though its resolution may lie in conception. Where you chronicle, I both chronicle and create. Where you arrive at... How welcome you are upon this realm, our most honored guest. I hope in the ethereal threads of eternity, do I record the drift of continents through changing seas, the rise and fall of empires, the shift of every grain of sand on every beach, the fall of every... Except, it seems, you. Ask, and I shall answer. I am the Weaver of Time, as I have told you. I am but what I am, and that is task. It is the same for the historian. Perhaps we are one and the same. Task multiplied by 2. Who has made us? I do not know. Am I the beginning? And am I to be the end? Who shall say? Perhaps I am the first thing in creation. Perhaps I am creation. But alas, the answers to those questions still elude me. You and stars... A hidden answer lies behind this veil of inscrutability, though. For the link between... I believe that starstones will not lead you to new places of wonder only. No. They will also lead to new knowledge through the restoration of the threads. Oh, Hunter. I have no need for company. Like I have no need for air or appetite or affection. All I need, and yet, I do enjoy your companionship. For you may prove to become the cure that will heal. Quite so. Your absence, it should be an impossibility, but no matter, I do not know you, which makes you my one perennial imperfection. But perchance I may be cured of this blindness. Perchance the blemish may be undone. What it is but a seed bereft of sun and water. What it could be, that is what the Starstone... I reside in another realm altogether. But ever since the end of time appeared in these deep dark skies, I materialized here, as if forced to watch the one thing that is unwatchable, unendurable. A thankless task that you may yet free me from. I think that perhaps you can redeem time, because you create time. Indeed, you have set in motion. Know that no longer I did weave. I sat here at the end of time and watched on as the void phrased the fabric of... But suddenly there was you. You who stirred the life within the stones. These stones, new threads emerged, and I began to weave anew. Starstone gives me new strands to braid. These starstones, please, seek them so that time may yet be mended. How might I serve our mission?
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon after your travels through the chasms of space. Nice to have found a shelter, wouldn't you agree? Where you can come to no harm. I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon, and that agent is I. So now that you know, and I'll be delighted to give it. Dark webs are being woven around these parts. It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. That means the task you have been given remains crucial. Find the assassin that did away with... While you were being lectured by our friend the historian and the the advantage of being a cat, you know. You go where you please with impunity. That's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere slivers, but specks of starstones nonetheless. They lay there, silent and innocent, though bloody murder may have been committed in their name.
Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up.
Don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly troubles can be held at bay? But perhaps I speak only for myself. Not for veterans. Like any cat worth its salt, though, I deeply cherish a secret refuge unbeknownst to anyone. Let me phrase it like Zigzags might. A universe without time is like a pen without ink. I'll not pretend to have all the answers, or that I understand all that is happening here. If Zigzags worries, I worry. We are talking about a creature, after all, that has reclined among the divines as... I met him first, a long time ago, out in the wastes of youthful Gore. He wandered aloud, so I told him who I was and showed him my human form. In the end, he even shared his great sorrow with me. The unspeakable thing you saw through his looking lens. Oh, before you go, here. Take this teleporter pin. You'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but alas, I seem to have... Now that this matter has been settled, Hunters, I shall detain you no longer. But rest assured, I'll do my share of...
Unknown to all time, are you? Leave it to... I'll tell you who you are. Source Hunters, members of the most esteemed order in Rivellon. Here to find out and grind out every last speck of dark magic. I knew you weren't the type to be taken in by such high-flying... Then again, if what he says is true, and he... Imagine! Sorry, Zaxix, I haven't fixed your space carpet, but if you could tell me where the bearded source dragon of Fire Lake has made its nest, I'd be obliged. Useful and...
as soon as we're packed up.